of payroll, we will take a look at it. Audit of Treasury Memoranda, Ministry, when Parliament makes recommendation to you, you had 18, you only fully implemented 28, you only implemented 11, partially 4, you ignored 13. I'm on 4.2. Then 3 Treasury Memoranda on the report of Public Accounts Committee. There were 3. You implemented 0 fully. You partially tried the 1.
Which page? Which item?
I'm on page 34. I've moved a bit top speed. Because I want to do one project before you leave. And the reason why I want to do one is for the rest of the project managers to know what is expected of them next time we meet, so that the meeting is not long.
I wanted to request under 4.11 on the issue of salaries. I needed them to give attention to Part C. 65 pensioners, stroke beneficiaries had not yet accessed the pension payroll by June 2024, with delays ranging from 6 to 24 months. So I would love just to find out what is the current status, because we should really be humanitarian enough, humane and mindful about other people. What action have you taken as we talk right away from the audit queries? Is there anything that we have done to support these people so that they access
the payroll was decentralized. Now entities manage their payroll, and that has shortened the process of accessing the payroll for the pensioners. However, when the validation was done, the exercise, internally, Ministry of Health did the validation, and there were quite a number of people that we could not validate, and they were not available. So we asked Public Service to allow us to remove them temporarily, and we ran several adverts and created a desk specifically for pensioners to come and get validated. Anybody who would get validated, they would get immediately access to payroll. However, there are people who did not come, and we continue to wait and provide that window. What we cannot do is to pay anybody who has not validated. And I will ask really my commissioner to add on this, the exercises that they've been undertaking. And we want to assure members here that we are not paying any single person who is not a pensioner. But also whose name is there but has not been validated. Even after the Auditor General, when they carried out this activity, additional people who were not verified, although they were available, we had to hold until they came. And that also...
But through your chair, they are talking about 65 pensioners. And I don't know whether you can confirm that all of them had the problem of validation. Because the issue is 65 pensioners not accessing. Was their problem exactly failure to validate? So we needed to hear from a human resource. At least you tell us with a bold eyes that is true, so that we know. Was it a matter of validation or there were other reasons?
Through you, Chair, the cases that are affected are cases of beneficiaries. Whereby beneficiaries, I mean, if, say, a pensioner died, and then people have to acquire letters of administration. It's a lengthy process. So that affects. There are also variations in names of, say, pensioners, the dates out of the inconsistencies. From NILA, you find someone having a national ID with a different date, with an additional name. There are so many reasons that lead to this process. But whoever turns up, we make sure that we align the information as long as they have the varied documents, and then we access them on the payroll instantly now.
Honorable Oregon, I want to beg you, in the interest of time, we can go on and do one project. We will go through it in 1 hour. If the hour is not enough, I'm doing one project to give a sample, so that when we get the boat thing.
No. Of course, the board thing, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, put the matter.
It relates with the players who are going to is it African? As Minister of Duty also to do with either referral or
why don't I do this?
Sophisticated treatment after players.
Yes.
Could be
Why don't
injuries.
we do this?
I wanted to know how far have they gone, because I've not seen any specialized hospital for the players, and it might be an issue.
Teams have been working with the Ministry of Education in planning. They've been in those meetings, and we will handle AFCON like how we have handled big events. Recently, we hosted NAM, and we were able. Actually, some of the presidents fell sick while they were here, and we managed it. So we are involved in planning. Thank you. This earlier, and I mentioned that we don't have enough resources for fuel, and it is not only affecting Kalangala, Honorable, it is also affecting Buvuma, it is affecting all other places where we have put water ambulances, because they are really big fuel guzzlers.
But did you put it in the plan for this year, maybe?
We think that the only solution is to give us more money so that we put more fuel budget, which has not been the case. Thank you.
Yes, Chair, he has been acting for 8 years. Can you really intervene? Buvuma district, yeah, I think she can maybe intervene, because she said it is the local government issue, but it is long overdue.
It is a big problem. Currently, there are about 46 districts with no DHOs for a long time. We have brought this to the attention of local governments. Others say that they advertise and they failed to attract. We wrote to public service to allow us to have a central advert, and we advertise and we recruit and send the people. But then the local governments said no, that is their role, it is their mandate, we should not do this. It has ever happened in 2002, where some cadres could not be recruited in the local government, and when there was the central advert was run, those positions were filled instantly. We have had meetings with the local government, even with finance. We wanted to attach like holding money until districts really take it serious. But if this is a recommendation of the oversight governance team like Parliament, I think this can be done. And it is very possible. Where districts are willing, we have actually worked with them together with Health Service Commission, and they've been successfully able to recruit the relevant cadre. But some areas, they are very hesitant to do this. And this is outside we can't push so much. I have written letters, I have had meetings, even involving the PSST, so that really this becomes a real serious governance issue that must be pushed by everyone. However, some districts moved ahead and advertised and recruited, but some are still, they are still in that roller coaster. Thank you.
Time for us to still think about it as well.
Yeah, but the bigger, I came from the district where we had a similar challenge of this DHO. But now with the enhanced
on Luvoa, and then you can share. Then when we come,
yes,
it can.
No, it's very good. We need a summary on Luvoa, JB. We need to discuss it. But in the meantime, I know now. No, it's just.
Chair.
Who wants to be a chair? Now, the beauty of being a chair, you can engage a chair and then disengage.
And then you can get an accident.
No, if you are steady, you can't. Now, what I want to request is that to kill public anxiety, now that we are seeing some progress, work with the committee to pay visit. I think it will be in the national interest that the committee, before it concludes its report, gets an opportunity would request to work with the concerned and we see it through. And then we shall discuss. Heart Institute is flexible. If you want, you can get them. Those are not big problems. Thank you so much. Meeting adjourned. Signed by Tuesday.
Go for campaign.
Is when we shall be harmonizing. When we shall be harmonizing on domestic areas and other things we have decided to harmonize, we will establish this.
At least they should say something along the last bullet. The last bullet.
The last what?
The last bullet. 10 outputs with 78 activities worth 86.771 billion were partially implemented. Out of 78 activities, the entity fully implemented 61 activities. 13 activities were partially implemented, while 4 activities were not implemented at all. At least the principal accountant or somebody should say something around this. What happened? We'll have to. This committee cannot go just without scratching your back or saying thank you for coming. Tell us a good answer at least.
Not a bad one.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the 4 activities that were not implemented were because of procurement delays. And these activities were majorly procurement of spare parts for equipment, for medical equipment, and also maintenance of X-rays and ultrasound machines, as well as maintenance of solar systems.
So let me hear you. You must be very careful.
Yes.
Let me hear you. Those activities were not?
They were not implemented because of procurement delays.
Now the question is, the moment you give that answer, where did you put the money? Because this time, the money was spent. And you are saying there were procurement delays.
Yeah.
So how did the money go where you didn't get procurement?
Actually, Chair, we would now expect that the money is being swept back because there was a delay. Like in the other instance,
yes.
In this scenario, the managers are away.
Just we. So, the reason why I stopped you, I didn't want you to land into. You said procurement was not done, and there were delays. At the end of every 30th June, appropriation, when it collapses, those monies are automatically swept back. But this time, the money was moved.
That there are some activities where we open the letter of credit in order to pay after, but those are reconciliations that we need to do.
That's exactly the kind of
more accurate information.
Yeah, those are the kind of answers that we need, because that man has to be there.
Yes.
Either on a letter of credit or rest. If you take his explanation, it lands you straight into embezzlement.
But Chair, even the issue of letter of credit cannot work here, because you are now talking about another source of financing. We are talking about money, which is already there. It came. When you talk of a letter of credit, you are taking us to another corner altogether. And they know it. You are shaking your head, you know it. You are taking us to a wrong corner totally financially.
Chair, allow us to look at exactly, to follow through, because we know that those activities although they delayed, they were done, and the money was paid. But what we need to find out is when the payments were done, and we shall provide all that information.
Not for purposes of completeness of an audit report. I am now noticing there is lack of tracking of kind of continuity. When activities are transferred to another financial year, when you are reporting, you don't tell us that these were transferred from the other previous years. You just as if those activities were for that financial year. And we cannot track an activity that this activity here was financed in 221, transferred it to 223, transferred to 223, and it became multi-year when it was not a multi-year activity. And they will tell you, no, don't even talk about the transfer. The appropriation collapsed automatically. That transfer is just theory. In the practical thing,
yes,
auditor just puts here redundant comment.
Yes, because
it means nothing.
Chair, that is the ideal position because every year has its own work plan.
Yeah.
So once this one has not crystallized this year, it means appropriation at the end of it collapses. So it remains with only a few remedies. The one remedy.
So we will give you time and you do the write-up to justify this. Otherwise, now, let's discuss the thing here. The auditor here, I have your lunch. So it says delivery of services from implemented activities. He's now taking you to delivery of services from implemented what? Activities. 3.1, failure to prioritize activities affecting service delivery. And this table here, colleagues, page through very fast. Review of Ministry of Finance Strategic Plan 2021-24 revealed that the ministry planned to implement the following activities within 5 years. However, the ministry did not prioritize the following activities in its annual work plan and approved the budget in the strategic plan period, affecting their full implementation, hence affecting service delivery. The first one will shock you. Construction of 138 health center 3s in sub-counties without health center 3s. Any health facility. Review of the strategic plan reviewed that the ministry planned to construct 18, repeating. By audit time, only 46 had been constructed. And this is a 5-year plan. I noted that this activity was not included in the annual work plan and budgets for the last 4 years. So their health center, their sub-counties, for which you have completely now forgotten, they can go hang. Can we go to the second one? Set up 12 regional ambulance hubs with ambulances in sports in all health sub-districts. Review of the ministry strategic plan reviewed that the ministry planned to establish 12 regional ambulances hubs within 5 years. However, 6 months to the end of the strategic plan implementation period, only 2 had been established, representing 17%. Can you go to another one?
Chair, if you allow me to make a comment, because they are really, the table is huge.
Let me go for this one because I have an interest in this. Establish and functionalize Center of Excellence for Trauma, at national level, Pandemic Surgical Hospital, Naguru. Review revealed that the ministry planned to establish and formalize the Center for Trauma 6 months to the end of the strategic plan. The National Trauma Referral Hospital has not been established. Therefore, it was noted that activity was not included in the annual budget plan. Construction of general hospitals in the Rubaga Division and Wachiso District. The review, the ministry planned to construct general hospitals in the Rubaga Division and Wachiso District starting 2021, 6 months to the end of the strategic plan. These constructions had not taken place. Construction of 4 regional banks. PS. And for me, these things sometimes find pages in a budget speech, in a presidential State of the Nation address. And you may hear, and when you are stayed on TV, think Uganda is going phew.
Mr. Chairman, for me, the issue that is of high interest is the observation made by the Auditor General, particularly if you refer to number 1 in that table on the issue of construction of 138 health center 3s. The Auditor General observes that the ministry has not been planning and budgeting for this for the last 4 financial years. And to me, that becomes a big injury, because when you look at it, it means that the ministry is now getting off its strategic plan, because the strategic plan is there. And when you look at members of parliament, whenever there is any debate to do with the Ministry of Health, people are talking about health center 3s, because these are in constituencies. The gap is huge. 3 financial years, you get only 46. That is 33% attention. The other balance, totally ignored. Maybe somebody, is it the planner who is responsible for this answer? Because they are not guiding and advising the accounting officer. Who monitors the strategic plan and its implementation? I don't know.
Of course, I was even signaling to you because I got information. You have a meeting set up at 3. So we need to let you be out of here by maximum of 2, because for you have a lead car. You will push some people off the road.
I don't